Welcome to Mother-Daughter Projects. I'm Steph. Today we're going to make a big box to hold my open Lego sets. Join us as we show you how it all came together. The first step of any build project is to get the measurements and do a simple layout so I know how many pieces of plywood I need. For this we're using 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood. We headed to Home Depot and loaded it up. For this project we're using plywood, a continuous hinge, a thin piece of molding, appliance casters, and 2 recess handles. We have 3 of these Husky adjustable work tables, and we're moving 2 into place to cut the plywood. We started by cutting off one edge so we have a nice, smooth, fresh cut. Then we moved on to making all the rest of the cuts with our track saw. On some of the edges, I didn't quite make it to the edge, and Mom used a Japanese pool saw to clean it up. To cut the full sheet of plywood, we're connecting 2 tracks together. Once we made all the cuts, we took apart the tracks to store them in our track saw bag, which we found to be the best method to keep all the parts together and easy to access. We did a test fit of the box, and with all that correct, we decided on the placement of the recess handles. I traced it and then measured out the inner dimensions that need to be cut out. Mama's going to use our router to cut out this section. She did a couple of passes, bringing the blade down a little bit more each time. After each pass, she filled in with Sharpie to be able to easier see what needed to be removed. This produces a lot of sawdust, so I'm following with a wet dry vac, and Mom is wearing a full mask. And it fits! Next, we added pocket holes to the sides and bottom of the unit. Pocket holes are simple joinery for securing wood together. To assemble, Mom glued the first edge, and we're using Rockler corner clamps to make sure everything is lined up. Then I added pocket hole screws. With the short sides on, we put the unit on its side and place the bottom. We are recessing the bottom so the wheels will work but not be seen. You'll also notice the pocket holes will face the ground so they won't be visible. We marked a line where it will be placed, then Mom glued the area and I added pocket hole screws. For the inside of the box, you will see the pocket holes, so we decided to fill them with pocket hole plugs, which surprisingly we've actually never used these before. It worked okay, and it's worth using for a more finished look. Mom glued the side, and then we added the last side, clamping it down and screwing it into place. And we completed it with pocket hole plugs. Then we put it on the ground to test out the wheels. We're using inexpensive wheels known as furniture sliders or appliance casters. They're typically used to move large furniture or appliances in and out of a space, and mostly can only move forward and back. We've used them in a few projects and they work surprisingly well. They work perfect in this design. To lift the top of the unit, we're going to add a thin piece of molding to grasp the lid. We glued and clamped it into place and waited for it to dry. Mom added wood fill to the top of the plywood to give it a more finished look. She's sitting on a rolling stool, which is perfect for this type of project. Off camera, Mom primed and painted the outside of the box. We wanted it to blend into the Lego room, so we painted it the same color as the wall. For the inside, we wanted to keep it natural and use a clear spray lacquer to seal it. Painted wood is not super durable, so we thought keeping it natural would hold up better over time. We decided to move the unit to my house before we put the top on. So we loaded it up in our giant van and took it to my house. We added the handles, then we put the unit in the Lego room. We're not going to fully attach the casters so they can be removed, so we just added them with double-sided carpet tape. And just for fun, I designed some Lego heads in Cricut Design Space and printed them on vinyl with my Cricut Joy. We're using a 32-inch continuous hinge to attach the top. We used a nail set to create an indentation for each screw. Once that was screwed into place, we took it into the Lego room and repeated the process for attaching it to the unit. And during the process of this build, we actually got a foster greyhound who is staying with me until he is adopted, and he wanted to be right in the room with us and enjoying the build. I also added a couple of motion sensor lights inside the box. And here I'm filling up the box with open Lego sets. This is a perfect addition to my Lego room, and it fits just perfectly underneath my main storage wall. I also realized I could put some brick boxes on top of it so I have more access to the boxes at one time. The top could also be used as a building surface for Lego. I designed the top to lean against the bottom shelf when it's open, and this turned out exactly how I envisioned, and the Lego heads are a fun pop of cuteness when it's opened. What we learned! Now, I originally thought about putting dividers in this box so it wasn't a big open space, but actually this works perfect because the way I store my open Lego sets is I take them apart and I will put them in different size Ziploc bags, and then I'll put a date of when I took it apart and or a picture of what it looked like together, so this stores them perfectly.
And we had this whole long conversation about what thickness of wood we should get, and Steph wanted to use 3/4 for the entire thing, and I suggested maybe we use 1/2 inch for the top to make it a little bit lighter when you're opening it and closing it. But in the end, we decided we'd go ahead and make it 3/4 for the entire thing, and it would be useful here. It could be useful for other things. And once it was finished, the lid was super easy to open and close. There was no problem with having that 3/4 inch thickness.
And if we want to use this box for something else in the future, we probably could because it's a pretty heavy-duty box. And we keep that in mind when we DIY because sometimes we need something for one thing and then we change something and it's not used for that thing anymore. And that actually happened with a coffee table we made. I got a new sofa, so we couldn't use the coffee table we made for it, but we actually turned it on its side, put it here in the Lego room, and it stores all my Lego manuals. So we are really happy that that still was able to be used in a different way. Thanks for joining us. If you want to see more projects from us, be sure to visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com. If you want to see how we organize all this back here, there's some videos right here on that. And if you want to see the Lego train that goes all around the ceiling of this room, check out this video right here.